Hi, Allison Williams.
Oh my God. Hi, Danny Pellegrino.
How are you?
This is such a delight.
I'm so excited you're in my home. This new movie, Regretting You, is coming out this week. How you feeling?
I'm feeling so good. I'm so excited to be in your home. This is absolutely surreal. Like to be here looking at you, talking to you, holding a giant mug.
Wait, do you listen to Everything Iconic?
Oh my God. Yes.
I did not know this.
Well, I'm new. Okay. The truth is I'm new to Bravo shows.
Okay.
It's a 2025 thing for me. So Everything Iconic came along with the Bravo shows. It's like a care package of like, here's how to like really like understand what you're ingesting here.
I'm always so fascinated when I hear people that I admire listening to the podcast.
Well, it's so mutual. And I went back. So I just did all of Vanderpump. And I was like, I need to know what you said about like historic moments in other shows. So now I can just like go back into the historical document, into the record.
So you caught up recently on Scandal. I know we're going to talk about Regretting You in a second, but I have to just get your takes on all of this now.
Yeah, of course.
So you watched Vanderpump. What did you think?
Well, I watched The Valley first. I wanted to know because I kept reading all these fascinating articles, like discourse on like masculinity and rage about this guy, Jax Taylor. And I was like, who is this Jax Taylor? And so I watched The Valley, seasons 1 and 2. But like imagine dark stuff, but imagine not knowing like what a Kristen Doty is at all. Like no context, no Brittany context, no Jax context, no nothing. Sheena shows up and you're like, Skeena? Like you don't know how to pronounce her name. Lala, it's the first time I've ever seen her face. Like these people are totally new to me. And so then I finished The Valley and I was like, I need to know, I need to see the origin story. And so Vanderpump season 1, episode 1, and then did the whole thing and then rewatched The Valley with all the context and was like, this is a very different experience.
I was just talking to one of the people with you, Ellen, and I said, what do you watch? And she was saying, I watched just a couple of them, but then she named all of the housewives. And I feel like that's like the epitome of a Bravo watcher, right? Yes. I mean, I say that all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I watch a little Bravo, but it's like, no, I actually like take notes and follow everything. You are like on
the record as watching more than a little Bravo. I feel like that's like dysmorphic. I started with Salt Lake this year because I filmed a movie, and shout out Angie K. I sort of am like vibing on your voice a little bit. I feel like I'm coming for voice. I lost my voice.
It's slowly coming back.
It is. It's like comeback era is today.
Yeah. I love it.
But yeah, so I started with Salt Lake because I filmed a movie in Salt Lake City in January, and I was like, culturally, I need to know like what is swig, what are we doing, what's happening. So I was like, this is incredible television. This is just like
it's so good.
Incredible television. The casting, the storytelling, they know exactly what they're doing. It's just iconic. And then and so now I'm doing New York. I asked Andy, name drop Andy Cohen, my king.
Where do I go, Andy? Like,
I mean,
what do I
yes, I said, what do I do next? And he said New York. Yeah. So I'm on season 4 of New York.
Oh, the original New York is so good. The original New York is my favorite.
So when does it become something other than the original New York? What do you mean when you say the original New York?
So there were 13 seasons with that cast, pretty much. Okay. So we had our Ramona, Luann, those people you're getting to know.
Bethany, we already lost Bethany.
We lost Bethany,
Did she come back?
Bethany comes back.
I thought she might.
Yeah. And actually, like her second era is some of the best TV ever.
Incredible. She's one of the best to ever do it. Like, and I spotted Dorinda, who I recognized because of the Traders. Dorinda. I spotted her in like the background of a charity event, but she's not even a friend of yet. She's just like
you have so much good stuff out of you.
Well, they're in Morocco right now, so it's pretty good.
Morocco's great. Yeah, you have until like through season 13 with this cast, and then they recast, and it became like a flop.
Oh, is that when Jenna
Lyons and stuff. It's not great.
Love. It's not great?
No, I don't think so.
Whoa, shots fired.
I know.
You don't watch it?
Think I watch it, of course, I've seen every episode, of course, But they changed the whole cast, and I just like the chaos. To me, that original series is so much like Salt Lake.
Oh my God, because actually, Andy says that.
Mm-hmm, it moves, it's so chaotic, it moves through stories so quickly. To me, it's like that's the good stuff.
It is. I'm just like in awe of, I don't know, like, it's just incredible. Like their behavior. Ramona's like whole everything. Like what was she going to do if she wasn't going to do this?
Have you gotten to the point where she thought she was pregnant again?
No, but I like soothsayer just told her that there's another woman. And so Sonia seemed very upset by this. So I'm worried that there's something Sonia knows about Mario.
That has one of my favorite scenes ever. What's her name? Cindy Barshop, who came and went very quickly. She's not on it. Do you know Cindy? Yeah, she's.
Oh yeah, Cindy's there. Soon. I thought she might be gone because she seems like a little too not made for the show.
Yeah, she tells Jill has a snake on her head and rocks. She's like, you know what? Take it off your head.
Take it off your head. Go ahead. I keep wanting to say, go ahead. Like, Jill's always like, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me. I say go ahead like a stupid wasp. And I want to start saying go ahead like I'm from Long Island and I'm Jill.
I love it. You know, this movie, Regretting You, it comes out this week. And there's housewives in it, which made me so happy.
It really belongs in the movie.
It felt so right. And I also felt so happy that it was, I'm not spoiling anything. There was your character is watching Housewives, I think 2 points in the movie, and watching Salt Lake City Housewives, one of the best Salt Lake clips. So had you been watching it when you were filming?
Let me think. When I read the script, I had not yet watched the show, and it was in the script.
Okay.
And then by the time I filmed the movie, I had watched the show and had like strong opinions about which clips to pull. And
okay, because that's what I wanted to know. Like, how did you decide on the clip?
They were chosen, and I was very happy about what was chosen. I didn't have to like fight for anything. I mean, it's hard to choose. In a way, you want it to be like one moment that's like iconic and big, and one that's quieter. Like Heather at that lunch is like a little bit of a more like subdued. But I mean.
And the other clip, can I?
Yeah, of course.
The other clip is the receipts timeline proof on the beach.
On the beach.
Which I feel like that's one of those cultural moments that everyone sort of knows.
Oh, yeah. I saw clips of that moment out of context about a year before. No, like whenever it happened, it showed up on my timeline. And I was like, what is this? Like, if you have no context and occasionally it like breaks through into the cultural conversation, like you just are like lost in the woods, like wondering, what is this beach? Why are the receipts? Why are they so upset? Like, who died?
Is there a win machine on Meredith Marks? Like, what's going on?
Meredith Marks.
Have you met any of these women?
I don't want to brag, but I'm going to. I text with Meredith Marks. I met her at the Megan 2 premiere with Chloe. I wasn't ready. No one told me she was going to be there. Sure. I did Las Culturistas, and Bone and Matt were both like, yeah, you need to be ready to meet Meredith Marks. And I was not ready. Yeah. And when she like turned a corner and was like, hi, I was like, I almost said no, because I was like, I need a week to prep. Like my nervous system isn't ready to see beauty like this, or to hear you speak, or even like hear you say the word rumors in my presence. Like I can't. And
slur it out of her.
So then we talked, we met, and then she reminded me that I'd worn Meredith Marks jewelry, which of course I then like, it came flooding back to me like early, like it's been a minute, but I love her so much. And I hope her like multi-hyphenate store is a massive success. It's like 8 different things.
There's
this
like
store.
An attic, a speakeasy.
100%. I want to go to every part of it. Yeah. And I'm not done with my Meredith information.
Oh, please keep going.
We just did Watch What Happens Live together.
How was she?
So pretty that I kept talking. I was like objectifying her, like in a way that's like not feminist of me.
That's okay.
I mean, I just was overwhelmed. I kept saying I felt like I was at Disney World. It's like a lot.
I mean, it really a lot of times when you meet the housewives, they do sort of take your breath away a little bit.
100%.
I feel like there is something a little scarier, to me at least, like when I'm meeting reality star more so than like an A-list.
Also because you know that they will like game theory you into the ground. Like these are practitioners of a craft. Like they don't get the credit they deserve for the amount of skill that's involved to like craft a character that's like a centimeter away from your true self for the like entertainment. It's like the Coliseum. It's crazy. They are giving of themselves to us for our entertainment. They are giving us everything so much. And I'm just so grateful. And Meredith is so pretty, and I'm going to go see her DJ in December, and I think she's going to come to a screening.
Bumps caviar when he's.
Oh my god! I want to be in the family. I met Brooks. I can't say enough.
I would imagine they are really excited about seeing the clip of Salt Lake City.
So. I think Heather's hosting a screening next week.
I'm sure they're so excited.
Well, also because I actually thought about a lot of them a lot, because my character became a mom as like a teenager, and a lot of them became moms really, really young.
So who did you most model your character after? Any of them?
None of them. Okay. It was an amalgam of people in my extended family who became moms young, because I didn't watch the show before I read the script. So those were the people I knew that had done it before. And with no shade to my character Morgan, I think the people I know who became moms young did a better job of letting go than my character does in the movie, but she may or may not get there by the end.
Okay, so can you tell everyone a little bit about the movie? Because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to spoil or say.
Yeah, here's what I would say is like, genre-wise, it feels nostalgic. It feels like the movies that I feel like used to be all over Blockbuster and just like aren't there anymore when I'm flipping around a streamer looking for them. Like it just feels, it's fun to watch. You get an ugly cry in, you laugh, you feel like floaty when you leave. It's very participatory in the theater. People are gasping, people are talking to the screen. And I'm used to that with horror, but I've never done anything with this genre before. And I am told that it's not always this like interactive. It's a movie that really like gets people going.
Do you think that's partially because the Colleen Hoover fan base is like really intense? Really intense. And I feel like almost, I think they treat the books like that too. The Colleen Hoover books. I mean, if you go on TikTok and see some of the interaction. So I would imagine that is translating into the
yes, but I think part of why her books are so successful is that she makes these characters that are like really specific but relatable, and the story, she's just really good with story and plot. And so it just engenders this kind of like investment that's super intense pretty quickly in the movie. It's basically it sort of centers on 3 relationships, 2 adult love stories and 2 younger love stories, or 2 an adult love story, a younger love story, and then a mother-daughter like relationship. And all of those bonds are like really tested when there's an unexpected loss in this extended family, and you kind of see how they all contend with it. And the loss has some pretty significant asterisks to it that complicate everyone's grieving. And it's just watching a family and some people they love like, deal with life.
It really reminded me tonally. You mentioned all those movies that we used to go to the Blockbuster and rent, and it's very different in subject matter. So it's not the same thing, but tonally it reminded me of a movie called In Her Shoes. Did you ever see that?
Oh my God, I'm picturing Cameron
Diaz and Toni Collette. It's like one of my favorite movies, 2005. But I love that type of movie where it's like you're going to get a good cry. There's laughs.
Yes.
Like there's kind of a little bit of everything. And I feel like that isn't made as much anymore, unfortunately.
Really isn't.
And those are the things that I like to go to the movies.
Well, so not to be whatever, I don't know, too self-marketing because we know that's not cool. But like if people go... Well, no, that's my literal job right now. But if people go support movies like this, there will be more movies like this. I feel like not everyone understands that part of our business, which is that you're kind of voting for what you want our business to do with your ticket purchasing. Like we really follow the momentum of what audiences are supporting. And so the more you guys keep showing up to like Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, the more of those will churn out.
But don't you feel like there is sort of a imbalance because they just had It Ends With Us was a Colleen Hoover movie that was based on her book, and it did so well, huge box office numbers. But I always feel like when it's like female centric or one of these other dramas like a dramedy, it's like we'll have a big hit and then it's still sort of discounted.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, what the hell? Like, what more do you need people to do? Like, we're showing, it's frustrating.
Like everything, it's patriarchy. We just have to prove it 3 times as hard.
Yeah.
So
wait, so how involved was Colleen Hoover in it?
I still haven't met her in person, which is so crazy. But she was like, we had her blessing, during the adaptation stage and prepping it. She like was at the table read virtually, and we FaceTimed before we started shooting. But she was working on another of her adaptations in Canada while we were shooting. So she was very busy because she wrote that script.
And I feel like now all of her books, everyone's like, we need to make all of her books, which is
why?
good.
It's because, like, first of all, a lot of them are written, not all of them, but a lot are written in the first person point of view. And so for the readers, I think that's part of the reason why people feel so fiercely connected to them is because, like, you just spend a lot of time very intimately with this person's thoughts. And she's very good at writing kind of realistic flaws and arcs and people not doing the right things all the time. And they usually get it together by the end. And there's just something really satisfying about that. And it's also like, it's a kind of read that just feels good going down. And it's nice to wind down from like the overstimulating nature of our world. Like I feel like people are rediscovering reading.
Yeah. I'm a big I think reading's so important. I'm a big reader,
totally.
And I feel like it's not people need to read.
Yes, and I also want to, this is like a PSA, this is a thing I've recently rediscovered, which is ironic, is rereading books that you haven't read in a while. Okay. Like one of my favorite books of all time is a book called Homecoming by Yag Yazi, and I but I haven't read it since the first time I read it, but it is just like one of my favorite books still. But I was like, I'm going to reread it. I miss it. And I started rereading it. I'm like, it is as good as I remembered, but I'm a different person. It's been however many years.
You look at it differently.
Yeah. I've reread like Frankenstein like 6 times through my life for the same reason.
You know, my all-time favorite book is Bridge to Terabithia, which is a kid's book, but that's one that I pick up and I'm sort of amazed, especially now I'm a parent. I look at it so differently and how they introduce grief to like a young audience to me is like kind of revolutionary.
My favorite book of all time is The Fandom Toll Booth, which is also a kid's book. So good. We're reading it to our son. He's really into it.
Wait, so you have a 4-year-old?
He's almost 4, yeah.
And how's it going?
It's the best. I'm so into this guy.
I was so shook watching the movie because I think we're around the same age and you have a 17-year-old.
What year were you?
I was 85.
Close.
But I was like, oh my gosh, she's a parent of a 17-year-old, which is part of the plot of the movie.
Yes, I was also 17 when I had
the character had a child at 17.
Oh yeah, not me at 17. That would have been a disaster.
I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, wait, could I be a parent of a 17-year-old? And it's like, yeah, you could be.
Isn't that crazy? Everyone in the comments, I was very flattered, but a lot of people originally who didn't know the plot of the movie were like, you guys look too close in age. And I'm like, yes, that's the point. We literally have this exact age gap. Like I could be McKenna's mom. It's wild. And I do think like some of that, yes, took a lot of imagination. Like I have not raised a teenager. It's a very specific, I feel like Liam Neeson, it's a particular set of skills to usher a teenage girl through that stage of life. But toddlers' jobs are to push boundaries and look for the limits around them and so they can feel safe while taking risks. And they just replicate that like times 1,000 when they're teenagers, apparently. So I do feel like I had mini training to play Morgan.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
How is it going? This is your first interview. Can I, on behalf of your fan base, can I ask you some questions about Parenthood?
God, of course, please. That feels weird. I'm not used to this.
Well, I'm just very curious because I was so excited about the idea of you being a dad because you have so much love and so much like warmth and openness. Do you feel like you know who they are already?
My husband and I were talking this morning and saying we're starting to really see his personality. Like obviously you get little glimpses. He's 4.5 months. But you get little glimpses, but now it feels like we're starting to really see like him being, I don't know, and it's very small things. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm sure you know.
You don't have to.
Just the way he grabs things or pushes them away or those kinds of instances. I'm like, oh, that's his little personality.
The thing that's mind-blowing is that you will look back on videos of him when he's like a day old or even sonogram pictures, which I was just looking at the other day, and it's the guy. Like,
yeah, it's so weird. Yeah.
It's in like literally a week old videos of our son. It's just our son trapped in this little tiny wiggly wormy body that like couldn't do any of the stuff he needs to do yet.
Right.
And now that he can like talk to us, it feels like it's like such a relief to him to just be able to be like, oh, okay, finally I can like let you know what's on my mind.
Tell you how I'm feeling.
Yes, everything.
I'm very excited for all of that stuff, but also I'm already sad about like losing the stages that we're in, kind of situation. Like
you guys must be doing really well then. I was not sad. I was pretty depressed at this stage of motherhood, but I mean at the 4.5 month stage, I was like
very
struggling.
Tiring.
Yeah. But it was like, it's rough, but I also feel like I got that advice enough to like soak it up as it was happening that I do feel like my husband and I talk about this, like we feel good. We feel like we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I wouldn't do anything to be able to hang out with him for a day, like at so many random stages developmentally, just because it would be so cute. And he's so busy now and his feet have been walked on and you're still in a stage where those feet have just never touched the ground.
Yeah, they touched, you saw in my kitchen. I did the pumpkin prints. Yeah. This is also weird because this is my sort of first in-person interview.
Yeah.
I think I've done like a couple Zooms prior, but the last one in this spot was with JC Chazet from NSYNC. And he revealed, I think I might have sort of mentioned this on the show, but he revealed that our surrogate was pregnant because he was here. We did the interview and we were hanging out in my kitchen and my husband like asked JC to like look at his phone and read an email to me.
Wait, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe I didn't. I might not have told it on the podcast before. I'm saving it for the next book maybe, but we'll get into more detail for my next book. But yeah, JC then was like reading this email aloud saying, it was a confirmation from our fertility clinic that the surrogate was pregnant. And so I'm just sort of having that flashback as we're talking.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
I don't have any news for you. I'm so sorry.
No, how dare you? How dare you? No, I want to get back to this, Regretting You. Before we kind of go back into that movie, though, I want to ask you like some other career questions.
Absolutely.
I had just watched, I was obviously a Girls super fan. And so in preparation for this, I watched like the first 3 episodes, and then I watched the Central Park episode, which is, I think everyone knows, is one of the great episodes of the series. Your character reconnects with Charlie. And it's just such a beautiful sort of mini movie. And I was like, I don't know what question to ask about it. I feel like you've talked about everything about that episode, but you must be really proud of that. Would you say, like, what are your sort of most proud moments acting wise from the series?
I mean, I'm really, really proud of that episode, partially because it's a huge vote of confidence, like to be handed a capsule episode on a show like that, especially because the legacy of capsule episodes on the show to that point were so extraordinary. Like One Man's Trash is one of my favorite episodes of television ever, which is just Lena and Patrick Wilson. And I felt like it was such an opportunity to really like let people hated Marnie when the show was airing. And so letting an audience spend an entire episode with her felt like an opportunity for people to understand her better. Also felt risky because I was like, if they already hate her, they'll just like really, what if they really hate this episode, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that there was something about it that just, I mean, Richard Shepard, who directed it, did just a masterful job. And Lena wrote like a beautiful script. And I just felt so lucky to be able to do it. And I actually hadn't seen Chris Abbott since he left the show. So there was like a meta element to
which
it, which
probably worked well for the acting.
Yeah, it was super helpful because we had been like very close doing the show. I mean, not very close, but we had been working together a lot. And then suddenly I hadn't heard from him in a while. So it wasn't quite like we had bought the ingredients to make pizza that they go through in the show. But it was, it was an amazing thing. The thing that's been shocking to me is how relatable people find like bumping into an ex and having like this fantasy experience, because I can't relate to that. I couldn't then and I can't now, but it seems to be a like widely shared experience out here in the world.
It's never happened to me, but I feel like it was sort of rewatching it. I was like, it feels like a fantasy of like, you want to run into that person to have that sort of closure.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful episode. And I'm sure you've been asked a million times about the shoes on the street, but like as an actor not wearing any shoes as Marnie's like going through the streets of New York, like were you like, I need to put something on my feet?
I had, of course we were in Chinatown. I was barefoot. I was like, I will surely die of like something no one's heard of in a long time. It was disgusting. Like, obviously I wore moleskin on the bottom of my feet, but I remember that we had to cut it away a little bit because you could see it. In some of the still photos, you can kind of see it if you zoom in, but it did not cover. Like when I peeled it off at the end of the day, there was just like a dark outline of where it hadn't been on the rest of my foot. Was there ever
like a fight to get shoes on for her?
Did I ever advocate for that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, here's what's gross. I was just reminded of this. I forgot. I like wiped it from my own memory. I used to walk if I was like coming back from an event late at night and my feet hurt.
What?
I would walk from the car to the lobby of my building, which did include sidewalk where like my own dog had pooped and peed. Yeah. That's so gross.
Yeah.
I don't know her anymore, but I admire the immune system she built. From this voice.
You must feel happy though that people look at Marnie differently now.
Because, so relieved.
And I was reading, I think it was your interview that you did with Andrew Rannells, who you sort of mentioned how now that there's some space from the character, people can take in a little bit of the cringiness.
Yeah.
And I found that even in my rewatch of like maybe I see Marnie differently. And that must be gratifying as an actor because at the time, I think that show was getting so much attention culturally.
Yeah.
And now people seem to respect the character in a different way.
I think so, for sure. And it's definitely like, thank God I had such a good experience making it. And I love like the people that I made it with so much because I get to talk about it so much now, which is so thrilling. And Andrew and I were talking about the fact that like, it was very loud culturally, interestingly, in a way that he felt insulated from while it was airing, but that I felt like keenly aware of. Maybe that's just, I don't know, being around more media people than he was because of my family, but I just felt like I was constantly consuming.
But the women got a little more.
Oh yeah, well we were just really getting hammered. I think part of it was like, if it was sort of a wave of the nepo baby discourse that kind of like preceded the larger conversation that happened. I don't know, when was that New York Magazine thing?
Yeah, I don't
last year or something. 2 years ago. Time for both of us has been distorted in a big way by Parenthood. And so I think people felt like Lena just brought out a lot of schadenfreude in people. They just wanted to see her fail. They didn't, they felt like the utter unfairness of this like young woman getting her own show and having the audacity to look like a person on camera instead of like an airbrushed like porn star in these sex scenes is crazy.
It's crazy to look back though. I mean, everyone on the cast was so beautiful and perfect how they were, but it's like the idea of remembering back then that there was so much discourse on specifically
people would
how
say
Lena
to her
looked,
face, "You're so brave."
Shocking.
Just for having your body is the subtext.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "You're really brave," and she'd be like, "For what?"
Or you mentioned the Patrick Wilson episode, and I feel like wasn't there a lot? There was like a lot of cultural conversation of like, "Oh, her with Patrick Wilson" or something.
100%.
It's like, wait, this is crazy when you look back on some of that stuff. But it must have been a nightmare to kind of have to live.
Well, I mean, I can't be like too sad for myself because I was also like doing my dream job. It hurt a little bit just because I felt like I was always on Marnie's side. So obviously I really yearned for people to understand her. But I also just felt like I was really lucky to be on a show that was creating so much conversation. You know, like I feel I miss monoculture. I miss going to a coffee shop on a Monday morning and knowing that like most of the people there watched HBO the night before. And I really feel bad for the youths of today that doesn't exist. I mean, maybe it does and we're just not part of it because we're too old, but I don't think it does. Like culture is so big.
The one thing I will say though is on TikTok, because I've had a lot of late nights on TikTok with the baby, is like Girls has been having this moment where it does feel like even younger generations, and it holds up so incredibly well. It's just fantastic.
It is sort of like a historical document though. I mean, it's a version of the US and of New York City that is totally different from the way it looks right now. And so maybe in its unfamiliarity with like the present day and our like battles for fundamental rights. Maybe in that way it feels like, I don't know, a little bit less funhouse mirroring. Yeah.
It feels like such a millennial. As a millennial myself, it feels like a time capsule of that part of my adulthood. Okay, wait, I gotta ask you a few other random things. Prairie Home Companion, you were a PA on. Okay, wait, so tell me everything.
Oh my God, there's so much to tell you.
Wasn't there a lot of drama with like
other interview?
Was that like around Lindsay Lohan and Jane Fonda? Or no, Jane Fonda wasn't in that. Meryl Streep was in it. Okay. I'm thinking of Georgia Rule. Do you remember Georgia Rule? Do you know
Of course.
Georgia
oh my God,
Rule.
I forgot.
But okay, wait. So how was Prairie Home Companion? Was there drama behind the scenes of that?
It was fascinating. The cast is stacked. And it was Robert Altman's last film.
Lily Tomlin.
Oh yeah. Kevin Kline, John C. Reilly, Woody Harrelson, Lindsay Lohan, Meryl Streep, Virginia Madsen. It was incredible. And what's crazy is that Altman had cancer at that point, and I think I'm remembering this correctly, that it was an insurance issue for him to direct the movie. So Paul Thomas Anderson came to like associate direct the movie with him.
Oh my God.
So he was there, and Maya Rudolph is in it and is amazing. And so like I got to be around that, which was extraordinary. And then like Lindsay, who at that time was like one of the most famous people in the world, like just being around someone who was that
she's
big
really
was
good in
like,
that too.
She's good in
everything.
Yeah. She's so talented. Was extraordinary. And watching her like in the scenes with Lily and Meryl was just kind of, she's spellbinding, honestly. They all were.
Watch Freakier Friday. And
it's
a fluffy, wonderful Disney movie, but she just has that sort of it factor that you're like, good. She's just...
She literally always has been that like sparkly watchability thing. I just remember really envying her like sideswept bang and just being like, I'm never going to be able to pull that off. I try. I'm regretting you. That's one of the reasons that I get to play myself as a teenager in this movie. And I was like, so I need a sideswept bang.
I need the bang. You guys looked so good also as teenagers in the Flash.
Thank you so much.
This works perfectly because you all look so young.
You're too kind.
Wait, I asked a lot of my actor guests this, but like, is there a scene partner you've had that you've been like, oh my God, that's the best acting I've seen? Or does that make sense? Like, is there a scene partner you've worked with that you just are kind of in awe of?
The honest answer to that is my husband.
Oh, yeah.
We made a movie together before we were together. And from the very beginning, I just was in awe of like the way he approached acting, which was clear now, like that he has directed, that he just thinks like a director in addition to an actor. But I had very little understanding of directing at that point. I understand a little bit more now, but producing is more my thing. But he would literally be like, you would never be in this shot for the beginning of the scene, right? And I'm like, why are you asking that? He's like, because the camera's way behind us on our backs. Like, you're not going to establish the scene with this shot. You'd establish it with a different one. And I was like, so what are you saying? And he's like, so you don't have to like give it 100%. Like, it's not going to be in the movie. And I was like, wait, they don't just sit down in the edit with every take and they're like, okay, let's watch it. And he's like, no, they tell they tell the script supervisor the takes they think are great, and then they do an assembly with those, and then if there's a problem they go back in. So I just didn't think about stuff like that. And then watching him be able to like tap into this deep well of emotion with such facility, and then also like he knows everyone's names, like he knows their kids' names. He's bringing like, you know, a Muay Thai cream in for someone who's complaining about wrist pain. Like I was like in awe of watching the combination of just like exactly who you want like in a movie as the lead of the cast, and also just his skill is like astonishing.
He's also wildly attractive.
He's so handsome. Yeah. It's crazy.
Is that when you fell in love, like seeing him was it kind of quick that you fell in?
No, it was a gradual thing. Yeah. At first I thought we were like twins separated at birth. Little bit we look like, but also because I felt like I had just known him forever. I later came to understand that as like a soulmate thing, but mostly it just meant that we had like this incredibly easy time making a movie that was not easy to make together, and we were just really good like co-supporters, I guess. Like I got hurt on the first day of shooting. He was like incredibly helpful helping me recover, and I don't know. And then like eventually when it was time to sort of, I don't know, like once we were together, it was more a question of like deepening the way we knew each other, because we'd already worked together. Being coworkers first is such an intense way of getting to know someone, because you see all their behavior. Like he knew what I was like when I was hangry
in the middle
like,
of the night.
Exactly. You've already seen that side of each other. But yeah, I was really like just blown away. I was a fan of his already from The Last Kingdom, because I thought he was just so good in that show. But then seeing it in person, I was like, oh yeah, this is legit. This is crazy.
Switching gears a little bit, Regretting You released this playlist on Spotify that was sort of like inspired by your work on the thing. And I know you've mentioned you like Taylor Swift a little bit.
I may or may not love Taylor Swift.
Wait, so can I ask you a couple Swiftie questions? Like,
100%.
What do you think of the new album?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you have a favorite on the new album?
Oh, gosh.
I'm really into Wishlist right now, but also, while you're thinking of an answer, Canceled.
I was just going to say Canceled.
Okay, but a lot of people hate Canceled.
Really?
But the reason I like it is because
it's tongue-in-cheek.
It's tongue-in-cheek, but also I like that I saw this TikTok where it was like over footage of Selling Sunset. Do you know that show?
Yeah, of course.
And somebody put like all the realtors, like all these realtor women like going into their jobs, and they put that song over it, and it just like it made me laugh, and then it became an obsession.
It's what you picture.
Yeah, and so now I always think of that.
I'm sure she like planned that somehow. Like she's just a mastermind, to quote one of her other songs that I love so much.
What's your do you have an all-time favorite?
No, I can't. Mastermind's up there for sure.
There, yeah.
I like all the songs where she describes the experience of living in we have very similar, like, well, I think from afar, like type A, try hard, theater kid energy, like drama teacher, like from her Instagram engagement post, I was like, yes. And also I've spent a little bit of time around her, and she's like vastly cooler than I am, but I aspire to be similar to her. And I just think anytime she writes about that experience, like Mirror Ball, or just the experience of being a people pleaser, Tolerated, I put on that playlist. Like, I'm so grateful. It's such a gift to have someone writing from a perspective that I share so much. It's like really special.
Yeah. It's
like how my dad feels about Bruce Springsteen, just like growing up kid in New Jersey. It's like, thank you. You wrote our childhood into the, into the world. So yeah, I love this album. I love every, I really just like love her work. Yeah. I'm so grateful. And I can't wait till she becomes a parent, because then she's going to write music about parenthood, and I'm going to find it like really nourishing.
I feel similarly to
Do you like the album?
I do like it. Yeah. It was fascinating when it came out.
It was a grower
before I
for
had
me.
it was a grower, but I kind of, all of her stuff to me is a grower.
Yes.
Like, and when it
Not
first,
the 1989 Vault tracks. Those were
yes, They Don't Go is my favorite. But I think sort of with any music, I feel that way. Like when that came out, I thought everyone was giving these takes online. I'm like,
Give it a second.
I'm like, I don't know. How did you decide that already? Like, I need to sit with it for a couple weeks because then there's sometimes when I hear a song, I don't like it until 2 weeks later or something. I'm like, I need to sit with it.
Like all of them. When I first heard Elizabeth Taylor and I heard her be like,
did you hear the BSB remix? I'm interrupting you.
No, not yet.
Okay, wait, I'll send it to you. You have to listen to it.
I would
It's
love.
like Everybody, the BSB song. They put that beat with Elizabeth Taylor and sped up her lyrics. It's so
it sounds so
anyway,
good.
I interrupted you.
No, but I mean, I was just, the first time I heard it, I was like, I don't know about this. And then I was like, oh, that was my favorite song for a couple of days in a row. I was just listening to it. Same with Opalite. Like there's a bunch of them. Yeah, I don't know. I love her music so much. Yeah, Tortured Poets also grew on me after a while. It took a second.
My husband's more of even more than I am. I love Taylor Swift, and we went to the Eras tour, but my husband's like obsessed.
I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed the Eras tour. It's such a disappointment.
Do you have a favorite era of hers?
Great question. I guess I would say it changes all the time. Lover is one of my favorite albums, which feels like sacrilege as a Swiftie because like now we have context for what she was going through. Mm-hmm. But it was one of Arlo's first favorite songs. And so I just feel like emotionally connected to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love all her eras, honestly.
I know I have to wrap this up so quickly. American Dreams. You were on this show on NBC.
This story's crazy.
Okay, tell me.
So I announced to my parents when I was extremely little that I wanted to be an actress, and they were like, "You can't do this till you graduate from college," which was the right call because I needed to like bake for as long as possible. This is a crazy industry. But I was just determined to do it in some way. And my dad was a news person on NBC, and there was a show called American Dreams, which kind of was brilliant and ahead of its time. Shout out to Jonathan Prince, the executive producer. And they would have modern day singers like Usher portraying people that were on American Bandstand back in the day.
Like Joey Lawrence as Frankie Valli.
Exactly.
Like,
And it was Brittany Snow of everyone's like hunting wives like obsession. And anyway, so it was this great show set against the backdrop of American Bandstand. And when employees of the company would come to LA, if they had extra time, they would go be extras on the show because you could sit in bandstand audiences and you'd be in 60s hair and makeup. And Jonathan Prince, who was the EP of the show, knew that I wanted to be an actress. And so he after I did the first episode where I was just dancing on bandstand, he then did something insanely kind. And so this is why Nepo babies have it so unfairly. He wrote lines for me so that I would get my SAG card. And he brought me back as Deborah. And one of my lines was, "Do you want me to mimeograph the attendance roster?" I still remember it. I think that was it. Mimeograph is the first and last time I'd ever heard mimeograph. And then I had my SAG card. I never went back. It wasn't a recurring character. I hoped, but it wasn't. And but that is how I got my SAG card, which is like a kind of perfect distillation of what people mean when they talk about how like unfair the business is. Like that's what they mean. Like everyone else that was a background person that day wanted to be an actor, and I was the only one he decided to like help out and write lines for, you know? It's not random.
I did background work when I first moved to LA, and it was rough.
It's really intense.
But you're the only Nepo baby who's had a good reaction to, and I know you've heard this before, but it's like most of the time when Nepo babies are asked, it's like you're the only one who's been like, yeah, there's a little bit of a leg up.
It's not even a little bit. It's huge. And there's layers to it. I feel like, I'm sure that I have grown into this opinion. I'm sure that when I still felt like I had a lot to prove, I would have felt more determined to like, first and foremost, like justify my skill and my presence here. But I feel like you take it or leave it. Like, obviously I'm not going to be for everyone. So we'll set that aside for a second. I just want to acknowledge the fact that it just like isn't an even playing field. It would be insane for me to be like, yeah, me. I always think of like Barry Keoghan. Like, yeah, the two of us had an equal shot of making it in this business. Like, absolutely not. We just didn't.
But and when you say it like that, it sounds so clear. But I feel like a lot of times people are interviewed and it's like, why don't they just say that?
I think they feel like it's going to take away from their performances, their work. Yeah. I see them as completely different conversations entirely.
Speaking of, I'm also very, I think it's great. You're producing a lot. You produce
Love,
Regretting
I'm
You.
obsessed.
So what do you sort of, this movie, we want everyone to go see Regretting You. I think it's like a perfect in-theater kind of movie experience.
For sure.
And
people like talk to the screen, cry, share tissues, laugh out loud. It's a very interactive movie.
well, and I think like get your parent friends together.
Yes.
You know, go get a babysitter or something and like
Yes.
go see with
It's
some
worth
friends.
the babysitter. I can say that knowing what the bar is. I think it's worth it.
And I do sort of want people to just like romanticize going to the movies again because
Yes.
there's something so special about getting your popcorn or your snacks or
They're
whatever.
going to
and, like,
take it
sitting
away from
down.
us if
I
we
know.
don't go. Like literally, it will go the way of the drive-throughs if we stop
please
going.
Please go. But so what do you want to produce next? Like what's next for you?
I'm working on a couple of things, none of which I can announce yet. I want to do it all. I love the hybrid of acting and producing. I also am very curious to see what it's like to just produce something and not act in it. It's always this like, we talked a lot on the Megan movies about like two hats, and I would basically like be sitting at Video Village with the other producers like untangling a problem for the next day, and then they'd be like, we're ready for you, and I would put my computer down and like run into set and go film a scene and then come back and be part of the, and I love doing both. I'm very curious to know what it would feel like to be able to just be producing.
Focus on that.
I know what it's like to just act, and for the way that I'm wired, it feels like I don't get to be as fully invested as I want to be. I'm not my best when I'm not able to just like care so much. I just care a lot, and I can't pretend not to. And I also like can't resist the urge to try to help solve problems, or I don't know, like I want to know what's happening all the time. Like I just do. It's my natural wiring. And so Lena was saying to me recently, she's like, it's weird now thinking back that you weren't a producer on Girls because you should have been. And it's very validating when she says that. I mean, we were in very good hands, and I did not know what I was doing, but that would have been an incredible situation.
I'm so used to, with all of my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so used to being in control of everything.
100%.
And it's hard. I don't have, it's not, I've realized it's not in me to sort of let.
Well, that's the thing. This job involves like such an insane lack of control at a certain point that, I mean, obviously maximal control is the goal always. Like, sorry about the Serenity Prayer, but it's just like, it doesn't really vibe with my personality. But it's like, at a certain point, it's a weird job to have chosen with my personality because you fully like let it go. Yeah. And it's not just a couple people consuming. And like in the best case scenario, it's a lot of people seeing like your emotional, like this movie I gave a lot of vulnerability to that I haven't in other roles necessarily. And that is such an exercise in letting go of control. I can't sit next to each person and like guide their viewing experience for them. It's up to them. And people, you know, will say what they want about my performance. And maybe it's just that. Thank you so much. Yeah. I paid him a lot of money to say that.
No, I got to see it. It was great. And you did, I'm interrupting you again, but you did my all-time favorite, like what I dream of as an actor to be able to do is like to get a dramatic phone call, and there you like have that moment and thing, and I won't spoil what it's about, but people who've read the book might know. But
and I had a baby
to get
in my
that
arms.
dramatic phone call and like react to me, that is like that's kind of like what I want from a good drama movie. Like I want to see that moment, like that life-changing call.
In real life, I have small reactions to things unless someone is like, I just saw Mary Cosby at the grocery store. That would be like a really big reaction.
Like, fuck, where?
But if someone was like, a real life circumstance just happened and the stakes are high, I'm like, my system slows down and I get like small and quiet rather than like housewifey and like big. And so it was fun to kind of explore all of that. And I'm perpetually trying to like dial up or down that reaction to things because there is this genre, there's just like a certain thing that's satisfying out of the performance, and it isn't totally grounded. Like sometimes it is, sometimes that's the most interesting performance, and then other times you just want something that's a little over the top because it belongs in this aesthetic, you know?
Yeah, the terms of endearment.
Yes.
The moment when they walk into the hospital, you kind of want that.
Yes,
like,
you want that.
Okay, I'm wrapping this up. The last thing I ask all of my guests is, if you were choosing for People Magazine Sexiest Man Alive, who would you choose? You can't choose your husband, though.
Oh, I know.
But it could be like a childhood crush or something. Like it could be someone from the past. Or, and then also your favorite Mariah Carey song.
Can I choose... You're going to be so bored by my Mariah Carey answer.
We'll see.
So disappointing. Can I make it a fictional person?
Sure.
Han Solo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like, so, wait.
So Harrison Ford, but
Harrison
like,
Ford, I was like, wait, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Harrison Ford, but like all of Harrison Ford, yes, but like also specifically Han Solo is what like awoken
And that-
my
yeah,
awoke.
yeah, I get
what
that.
Woke up, awakened. That's the word.
Awakened.
My like sense of like sexiness in the world.
Yeah. There's a photo from that around that era of Harrison Ford in like these short shorts
yeah.
and the sweater. Yeah.
I've seen it. He's a carpenter.
Yeah, so gorgeous.
He like barely cared about acting, which what's
so
sexier?
hot.
He's
Yeah.
like woodworking.
And he's still hot to this day. He's like 100
Gorgeous.
years old.
And he's grumpy, which is an energy I want from more movie stars.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, a rom-com, grumpy rom-com star.
Yeah,
Okay, Mariah Carey song. Are you going to say the Christmas one?
Yeah, I am.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Allison
I
Williams, this was
warned
so fun.
Thank you
Everyone
for
go see
having me.
Regretting You. My son's awake, so do you want to... Oh, there's Lucky over there. Everyone go see Regretting You with friends in theaters. We're going to have to take Lucky when he's old enough. Lucky,
Hey,
hello.
gorgeous.
I'll cut this. We'll edit it. But thank you
I'm
so much,
definitely not
Allison. You could bring him in here.
soft-smiling.
We'll cut this.
That's over.
Yeah. Hi, cutie.
Hi. Oh my God.
Give him to me.
He's so happy.
He's a smiley little guy. What? Did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap?
So